What's up everyone? Welcome back to yet another review of Men's Fashion Week. Today we are gonna be discussing 5 biggest shows from Paris Fashion Week. Even though we had a lot of good shows, this season still seemed to shy away from truly innovative and groundbreaking collections. Nevertheless, Paris Fashion Week was still fun, with diverse themes ranging from balletcore to cowboy fashion. Alright, let's get started and discuss it more detail. The Dior Fall-Winter 2024 collection was like a crossroad where the brand's past intersected with the ancestral heritage of creative director Kim Jones. The House of Dior has a long-standing tradition in dance, particularly ballet. The founder himself collaborated many times with various artists and dancers, bringing fashion to the ballet and the later to the runway. Turns out, Kim Jones' uncle Colin Jones was a British royal ballet dancer who afterwards became a serious photojournalist. Among his body of work was an extraordinary story for Time Life magazine on Rudolf Nureyev, a Soviet-born ballet dancer who is regarded as the greatest of his generation. He famously partnered prima ballerina Margot Fonteyn, who was Christian Dior's favorite dancer and also a long-standing client. Anyways, all that history finally led to the show. Kim Jones drew his main inspiration from Rudolf Nureyev's personal wardrobe. Additionally, he delved into Dior's archives, reintroduced various pieces related to ballet and the brand's rich history. Kim Jones' signature look for the collection was built around zip front jumpsuits, referencing Rudolf Nureyev's personal wardrobe. The look was accessorized elegantly with special headwear, most likely inspired by the dancer's beret, although in reality it resembled a turban head wrap. More ballet references came in the form of A-line ballet studio shorts and zip-up knitwear. Similar treatment was given to footwear. We had ballet flats and Mary Jane style shoes. The looks were completed with bright colored socks, adding a pop of color to the muted outfits. The House of Dior is famous for men's business attire. Kim Jones has modernized and streamlined its cut. His signature oblique suit is an asymmetric take on the classic Dior bar jacket. Tailoring was kept clean and minimal. In addition to oblique suits, we had iterations of similar oblique overcoats, which, unlike many garments in this collection, were well suited for fall-winter. Special details introduced by Kim Jones for this collection included front slits showcased on Dior tank tops. Additionally, there were undone belts that resembled an extra pair of sleeves on the garment. These simple details were used by the designer to spice up and energize otherwise ordinary garments. If the section felt a little sedate for a runway display, it's because Jones was just getting warmed up. It was merely the calm before the storm. The main twist of the show came with 20 couture looks inspired by items from the catalog of the Nureyev auction at Christie's in 1995, as well as Dior's archives. It started with Nureyev-inspired kimono and proceeded through opulently beaded sleeveless tops. A myriad of rhinestones, crystals and diamonds were put on display. Dior menswear was certainly at its finest. Special pleated pants featured draping effect, intensifying the designer's poetic and romantic serving of modernity. The popular interpretations of Dior archives include iconic pieces such as the Debussy dress, originally designed by Christian Dior and famously worn by prima ballerina Margot Fonteyn in the 1950s. Additionally, the collection featured exotic offerings, such as various tunics and tops crafted from crocodile leather. Well, crocodile leather holds a prominent place in luxury fashion due to its luxurious texture, durability, and exclusivity. The clothing look served as a cherry on top, featuring a floor-sweeping dramatic cape. It referenced a velvet cloak worn by Nureyev during his Covent Garden debut in Giselle. Overall, Kim Jones orchestrated an exceptional show that seamlessly blended the theatrics of ballet with the artistry of haute couture. This marked Kim's first full line of haute couture for Dior Men. The collection was full of extravagant, made-to-order special pieces. We had exquisite garments adorned with diamonds from Dior's high jewelry line. The question probably you are asking is who will be wearing such pieces, likely with price tags hovering close to €250,000. According to Kim Jones, his VIP clients love to buy things that no one else has got. Also, he is thinking about his own contribution to the Dior archives. Another aspect to consider is that ballet-inspired theme is not entirely new. The House of Dior has a long-standing tradition with ballet, inspiring many designers over the years. From John Galliano to Maria Grazia Chiuri, designers have explored the intersection of ballet and fashion. Anyways, with this collection, Kim Jones brought his own interpretation of the ballet theme to the House of Dior. Rick Owens has been mainly preoccupied with refining his Victorian silhouettes over the past few seasons. However, this time he decided it was time for big changes, both in his silhouettes and designs. He initiated the change by altering the show location. He skipped his favorite spot, Palais de Tokyo, and instead showcased the collection in his home and working compound in Paris, the same place where he began selling his collection 25 years ago. Just like the show location, this collection was also more personal to the designer. It was named Porterville, after the California town where the designer grew up. Rick Owens described Porterville as a bleak place, full of intolerance and dominated by a judgmental and conservative society. He channeled all the intolerance and prejudice he experienced into the collection, unveiling super exaggerated and outlandish silhouettes and shapes. Collection proportions are grotesque and inhuman in a howling reaction to some of the most disappointing human behavior we will witness in our lifetime, explained Rick Owens. Certainly, the most memorable aspect of the entire collection was footwear. Those gigantic inflatable boots were created in collaboration with Trey Tukai, the artist whom Rick Owens discovered while scrolling through Instagram. Those boots not only contributed to the striking silhouettes, but also introduced futuristic vibes into the collection. The futuristic aesthetic was further heightened by introducing neat spacesuits crafted from recycled cashmere. The shag jumpsuits and capes made of alpaca fibers likely served as a reference to the brutality we see human nature capable of. They may have portrayed an image of a beast, symbolizing the harsh world through the perspective of a sensitive child raised in a judgmental community. The oversized knits evoked similar vibes and feelings. Their construction obstructed movement, with the model's hands seemingly trapped, creating a sensation akin to being imprisoned. This may have referenced how Rick felt during his teenage years in Porterville. Similar sentiments were echoed through outfits featuring leather tops and cargo tunics. The model's makeup, reminiscent of face masks, served to conceal their true personas and identities, a behavior that Rick likely adopted frequently in Porterville. Certainly, we had many intriguing and unconventional looks in this collection, yet the biggest standout piece was a wrapped blanket resembling spherical drapes, creating a silhouette reminiscent of a lollipop. While the practicality of this garment may be questionable, its appearance and visual was undeniably unique. Rick Owens loves to play with shapes and proportions when it comes to puffer jackets. This time he applied his favorite spike shoulder concept to the duvet jackets and coats, resulting in bombastically sculptural pieces. These architectural silhouettes elevated a sense of drama and mystery in the collection. More unconventional silhouettes came in the form of bomber jackets with enormously exaggerated shoulders. Looks like Rick experimented with enlarging the shapes to their maximum potential. Others featured shoulders protruding forward, creating an alien-like outlandish vibes. Certainly, Rig pushed the boundaries of traditional proportions to create bold and unique visuals. With balaclavas being featured in almost every look, the headwear was certainly another prominent focus in the collection. The standout headpiece was particularly striking in the clothing segment. It enveloped the head and extended down to the hips area, resembling a crown of some kind or a helmet of a prisoner. Most likely, they reference Rig's adolescence, reflecting his feelings of being trapped and imprisoned in Porterville. Certainly, the entire presentation was jaw-droppingly outlandish. It was Rick Owens' personal story of himself and archetypes from his adolescence that he narrated through those inhuman and unconventional looks. The show was dramatic, grotesque, and emotional. This was Rick Owens paying homage to those currently stuck in their own Porterville. Givenchy still has not found a new successor after the departure of Matthew Williams from the brand in January. He served as a creative director for 3.5 years. While he did well during his tenure at Givenchy, his style ultimately did not resonate with the LVMH own brand. Before his arrival, Givenchy bounced between Riccardo Tisci's gothic couture meets streetwear aesthetic to Claire Wade Keller's back to the archives classic vision. Matthew Williams initiated a completely new chapter for Givenchy by steering the brands towards punkish and tech streetwear. While this approach garnered initial success, it became apparent that Givenchy needed a clearer vision in fashion to compete with its peers such as Celine and Loewe, brands that have experienced rapid growth in recent years. Anyways, a new collection was designed by Givenchy studio team. It served as a statement announcing a new path for the brand. For a start, they chose to return to classic elegance, inspired by the brand's rich archives. The show was presented in the Givenchy Salon, where the founder, Hubert de Givenchy, created his collections. Well, the new collection was named as a study of the new gentleman, inspired by the character of Hubert de Givenchy. It explored the duality of the founder's public and personal wardrobes, conveyed through a present-day lens. The blouse worn by Hubert de Givenchy in his studio is reimagined as an elegant workwear staple in sleeved and sleeveless form. The dressmaker's uniform is followed by a series of suits and coats engineered in the haute couture ateliers. They are cut with armholes under the sleeves as a nod to his personal love for capes. They are made in shades of sapphire, a color scale so beloved by the founder he viewed it as an alternative to black. A tension between the masculine and feminine unfolded through an opulent chandelier motif from the archives, interpreted in metallic embroidery with crystals and pearls. Other looks reflected Hubert de Givenchy's love of nature, featuring unshorn shilling in outwear and also as decoration on pants. An archival cat motif was adopted in hairprint and shilling forms and featured across many garments, referencing the founder's love for cats. In the last segment, the brand's timeless elegance and sophistication are paired with its adventurous side, portrayed with safari jackets and wide and loose pleated pants. Cherry on top was Russian babushka-inspired headwear, printed with a variety of hairstyles. While awaiting the appointment of a new creative director, this interim collection did a good job to revive the brand's heritage and core values, while laying the groundwork for the brand's next chapter. On the critic side, the collection felt somewhat incomplete, lacking the finishing touches expected of a fully realized collection. And succession plans have not yet been announced. Some industry insiders speculate that Sarah Burton could be a potential candidate for the role. Other rumored candidates include Alessandro Michele, Riccardo Tisci, and Ivan Jacquemus. Pharrell Williams presented his third menswear collection for French luxury fashion house Louis Vuitton. As we know, Louis Vuitton is a world-class luxury travelers brand. It was originally established as a maker of fine luggage. Leveraging the brand's history and heritage, Pharrell decided to use the brand's platform to explore different places and tell stories. This time, the destination was American Wild West. The collection explored the origins of workwear and craftsmanship techniques. The main American Western theme was represented by both cowboy-inspired fashion and the Native American culture and crafts. The collection collaborated with artists from the Dakota and Lakota nations, especially in the range of accessories. Alright, so Pharrell dives deeper into the roots of the American Western wardrobe, bringing country and Western motifs to the forefront on the runway. The collection featured an array of cowboy-inspired attire, including cowboy shirts, chops, boots, cowboy hats, and bolo ties. Denim, a staple fabric in the Western-inspired fashion, took center stage in the collection with a focus on double denim outfits. Cowboys who face rugged conditions on the American frontier love denim due to their durability, functionality, and adaptability. Alongside denim attire, suits played a significant role in the American Western wardrobe. They were used widely for both special occasions and everyday wear. Pharrell tried to capture this essence through a wide range of Western cut suits. They offered a contemporary twist, blending rugged American aesthetics with modern tailoring and elegance. The suits in this collection feature turquoise buttons, a detail that holds particular significance in Native American culture. Native people have a deep spiritual connection with the stone. The outwear in this collection drew inspiration from cowboys and ranchers in the American West. Rugged peacoats and overcoats had toughness of the Western frontier, while incorporating modern design elements. Shilling jackets featured Western-inspired ornaments, while shilling coats came with a vintage-inspired look. Fur, another widely popular outwear in American West, made its appearance on the runways. Fur has played a multifaceted role in Western fashion, serving as a symbol of status and a practical material. Certainly, the Western-inspired theme would not be complete without leather. Pharrell showcased leather jackets embossed with Western florals, referencing the attire of ranchers and frontiersmen known for their tough and demanding lifestyle. Additionally, we had items reminiscent of performance cowboy costumes, such as a flame red rancher suit in leather. The collection introduced a wide selection of workwear, including dark short jackets and double-fronted work pants. Certainly, these are classic workwear pieces with a rich heritage rooted in American workwear traditions. Pharrell also unveiled a special collaboration with Timberland, introducing limited edition Louis Vuitton-made version of workwear boots. Models were pushing wooden carts loaded with luggage, evoking the image of workers in a typical frontier railroad town. Pharrell also extensively explored plots, especially buffalo checks. His contemporary interpretations evoke the rugged charm and adventurous spirit of the Wild West. Original cowboy paintings and prints were adapted into jacquard tapestry, resembling garments aged and eroded by the prairie sun. Last but not least, the pixelated camouflage from last season has been updated. Pharrell did some customizations based on the current theme, and now it resembles cowhide. The signature print originally introduced in Pharrell's debut collection was created by tweaking the damier, the brown and black Louis Vuitton checkerboard design. Alright, accessories, particularly bags, are a cornerstone of Louis Vuitton's identity. They play a central role in defining the brand's image and contribute significantly to overall sales. Pharrell offered his take on the classic Louis Vuitton bags. The iconic Speedy bag debuts new colors for the collection, notably turquoise blue, along with new details, including studs and fringe. Native American culture is celebrated in flower motifs on bags. Hand-embroidered Dakota flowers symbolize the beautiful roots of nature. The steamer bags were adapted in different sizes, while compact satchel bags were framed with horseshoes at each side panel. Once again, Pharrell flexed his creative muscles. He seamlessly blended the Louis Vuitton spirit of travel with iconography of the American Western wardrobe. Leveraging the brand's history and heritage, Pharrell portrayed his version of cowboys and narrated his story through 80 beautiful looks. On the flip side, there are few aspects to consider. Critics argue that the collection looked overly costume-like and approached dangerously close to Ralph Lauren's territory. Some also question the necessity of this collection, suggesting that the theme has been explored extensively by numerous designers in the past. There is also a possibility that Louis Vuitton might face a backlash for using indigenous culture in a commercial setting. Not long ago, Dior was compelled to withdraw an ad for its best-selling Sauvage fragrance that featured a Native American dancer. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.